Hey, people. So, there's an article that came out, I think it was today. I'll put a link below. You know, so by the time you're seeing this, the link will be in the description. But, um,
It was
uh,
today.
yeah, this was an article put out by the British Psychological Society entitled women women who practice submissive BDSM have reduced empathy and an atypical natural response
Neural.
or neural response to other people's pain.
Oh, your face. You're already like,
We
haven't
haven't
even
even
read
started
the
I have
article,
not
by
even
the
read the
way.
article yet. I read the headline and went, I have to talk about this because the premise of the entire thing that they're doing here is wrong. They are wrong. They I don't know who the hell they decided to do this study with, but they're wrong. Submissive women in this community usually on most occasions have as much or more empathy than people in the the normal vanilla world. So yeah, please read this article.
Yes. Oh, you want to read it word for word?
I want to destroy these guys.
Oh my
I
god.
know. I'm some random YouTuber. They're the British Psychological Society, which, by the way,
That's
again, we haven't even started yet. I'm going to preface this with what I know about about the British Psychological Society. They are among the few groups in this world that still want to classify BDSM as a psychological condition.
Well, we're about to see that in the article, bro.
So please, go ahead. So you can tell these people have bias coming in right from the start.
Well, they're British.
Well,
No,
no, and to the people who are watching who are British, we love you. You guys are awesome. These guys are idiots, and so I plan on just me ripping them a new one. Please go ahead.
we all differ in how much empathetic brain activity we experience in response to witnessing somebody in pain.
True.
For instance, hospital physicians who are regularly exposed to people suffering tend to show a dampened response, perhaps a pragmatic necessity to cope in a job.
True.
Okay? Might along the way explain the blase hallows humor we see in the profession. I work in medical, by the way. I can vouch for this. If these differences are found within a job, perhaps they can occur within a lifestyle choice.
Did you hear what they said? Perhaps. Perhaps. That's that is going to be so they're jumping to conclusion right off the bat. Maybe it is. So maybe if they are, they are some, people who happen to do things that are painful, and then they see other people who are in pain, but don't immediately jump to, oh my God, they're in pain. Like, that obviously that means that their empathy is reduced, even though that makes absolutely no sense.
Can we get to the article first?
Please.
Such as one that involves playing with and consenting to painful activities. At least they're talking about consent, such as bondage, discipline, dominance, submission, sadism, masochism, typically abbreviated to BDSM.
So tired of that. Just say BDSM.
As a report in Neuropsychology, this person at this university and this other person at this university with Chinese university names that I'm going to butcher explored this issue by first running a preliminary online study on a Chinese BDSM forum.
Okay, first
Wait,
off.
online BDSM forum? That's the issue.
First off, China.
That's not a good test.
That is not a great test market. Okay,
Because the
first off,
culture there
this
is
this society, this video will never be seen in China. Okay, because not only is it, because it's YouTube, but if other people post it other places, the government's going to block this video because we're talking about BDSM. Okay?
I'm sorry, I respect all cultures, but that is a bad case study to talk
That is a
about
mad-
a alternative lifestyle.
Yeah, if you're going to do this case study, do it in fucking England. Do it in fucking America. Do it where the culture has at least a passable blasé attitude towards the community, and not people who have to hide desperately, worrying about, especially now with what's happening in China, with having this whole thing, citizen point thing that they're working on.
Yeah.
Okay, because the thing about it is,
a Black Mirror episode.
Seriously, because the thing about it is, I guarantee one of the things that's going to get you negative points in that system is being part of the BDSM culture. So, please.
We haven't had a rant from you in a while.
This is going to be we're going to be here for a bit, folks, so strap in.
Strap on?
That too. Depends on what you're feeling like tonight.
Okay. By a Chinese BDSM web forum, finding across genders and BDSM roles, submissive females showed the clearest differences from controls in terms of having a diminished response to other people's pain, and lower scores of aspects of empathetic questionnaire. Wait, they're basing this off a small-ass case study.
Yeah.
In China.
In China.
Small, very small. Female doms didn't show a reliable difference response to pain. And male BDSM practitioners rarely differed from controls.
Wait. So wait a second.
It's just the submissives getting beat that are having.
It's just the submissives that say that that are have less empathy towards other people's pain
no sense.
than the people who are actually giving the pain. Wow, that makes
if this is true,
no sense at all. It makes no sense at all.
I would say in general, people in BDSM in these tests would probably score different, but I would say it's all across any kind the whole culture. And I wouldn't say it's empathy. I would say it's how they're measuring it.
Right, because
I agree with their article as far as how they're measuring it. Yeah, probably.
But the thing about it is that there's a difference between consensual BDSM play
and pain.
And like if I see somebody fall on and this has literally happened to me within the past 2 months, where I've seen somebody fall down and hurt themselves, and they were in pain, and my first reaction was to stop and try to help them. Versus, I was at a club this last weekend, and there was a person at the club who was new. And one of the things that I said to him was, oh yeah, if you hear people screaming and yelling, that's just them having fun. I hear it's the only community in the world where I can sit in a club and hear people screaming and yelling in massive pain.
You're gonna love this next
part. In massive pain, and my first thought is, you must be having a good time.
So yeah, there is a difference, but
it's a difference because I know the people who are in one situation are doing consensually, and this is what they want, versus the people who are doing it, are having it and doing it in an unconsensual manner. My empathy towards people who are having it done to them in an unconsensual manner is super high. So is vast majority of the people that I know.
Okay, wait. So these people that did this test invited 32 of these female submissive practitioners together.
32?
Yeah. With 32 control females that weren't in BDSM.
Okay.
Into their lab. And they measured their electrical brain activity with EEG. While viewing image of faces with expressions of neutral or painful expression. What?
Okay, first off, because here's the thing.
What?
This is the thing that I'm sitting here going, because if they did that, that's not a fair test. Okay? Because I can see a video of somebody doing something one of the
Can you change the angle? I look horrible.
I can see videos of people doing stupid shit and getting hurt, and it's funny. Does that mean I don't have empathy towards them being hurt? No.
It depends on what it is. So wait, the self-identified submissive participants found painful expressions less unpleasant and intense than controls. No shit.
No shit.
When images were framed in a BDSM context, they found them more enjoyable and arousing. No shit. Loosely implicating that was suggested by the online experiment, replicating what was found in the online. The EEG data showed that an early negative spike in brain activity in the frontal lobe, called N1, was larger for controls when they saw painful stimuli, and more so when participant found the images particularly unpleasant. But for the submissive participants, the N1 was similar in both cases. Past research has implicated the N1 in registering threatening information, such as denoted in a fearful face. So this could suggest that submissives were seeing less threat, understandably given submissive practices that were willing to incorporate pain.
Okay.
This isn't completely wrong, but the way they're measuring
the way they're first off, their sample size is
tiny,
fucking ridiculously small. 32 is not a sample size. Okay, when you have a population of 1 billion,
more than 1 billion in China.
Yeah, let's just say hypothetically, it's 1 billion.
Are these? Wait, we don't have any context. Like, are these people, consensually in BDSM? Are they sex workers? Like, we don't have any.
We don't
idea.
have any. There's no. Because that's another thing. There's different, but it's also different.
Yeah.
There's different people in BDSM. Some people do BDSM, but don't do pain play. Some people do BDSM and exclusively do pain play. Some people do BDSM and do nothing but rope play, which does not necessarily involve much pain at all.
But I can see that we're used to, as submissive people, seeing more things that wouldn't alarm us at the same rate. I can see that being a reality, but I do agree with you that the way they're doing this isn't really making any sense.
No, the study does not make sense at all.
Meanwhile, a positive spike in brain activity in the frontal lobe, which is usually associated with pain and emotional processing, was flattened in submissive participants when they viewed generic pain. Again, guessing less empathetic response.
No. Wait, did they say guessing?
Suggesting.
No. That's guessing. That's guessing.
Suggesting.
Because the thing about it, here's the thing.
It's suggesting.
Because here's the thing. I can see.
Wait. However, I had to tell you this because this will affect what you're about to say. However, when when seeing BDSM-related images, their P2 was actually larger than controls, and this correlated with their subject arousal rating, suggesting the brain response was capturing their interest in pain rather than distress.
No shit? Okay, here's the thing. Yes, we are desensitized to some level of pain and stuff that would compare to the normal population because we see it. We participate in it. Okay? We both did scenes this last weekend with people that involved pain. And I had an amazing time. I think you had an amazing time too.
I actually talked.
Yeah.
Not him, obviously.
No, somebody else. And that's a whole other subject that we'll eventually get to, because it was what was traditionally called a slave market.
No, it's a meat market.
Well, but the thing is that, it was a very interesting night, and I added some interesting play that involved no toys, because when I started to play, you had all my toys.
Anyways.
So, but I think the thing about it is that there's a difference in we're desensitized to certain things, yes, but that does not mean that we are desensitized to actual pain.
There are still 5 paragraphs in this article.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to
Can
it.
I please get through some of this?
Please. We're already 15 minutes into this. This is going to go a
A
half
third
hour.
brainwave signal, also associated with emotional processing in the LLP in the partial lobe, showed an attenuative in, what does that mean?
I have no idea.
In the submissive group, corroborating the case for a weakened of empathetic response. These 2 people that did this study also measured their participants' day-to-day empathy in terms of how they relate to other people. How are they testing this? Again, the submissive group had significantly lower scores than controls. How are they doing that, though? They're showing them, like, a car accident, a picture of... That doesn't seem like a good way to...
No, hey, I'm going to show
Wait,
you...
but if you're used to handling more adrenaline and you're used to seeing those things, then yeah.
Yeah, then your brain is going to react that way. But I think there's a major difference between how your brain handles these kind of inputs and then your necessarily emotional response, because
they mean a neurochemical empathy is what they're talking about. They mean an actual brainwave.
Right, but the thing about it is that that doesn't change the fact that somebody's empathy, ability to have empathy, even though, like, doctors, they see all of this horrible stuff,
Yeah.
but they're still, for the most part, extremely empathetical people outside of that. And if you were to measure the same amount of people, if you took 34 doctors and did the same study, you'd probably find the exact same thing.
That's what they were correlating in this. Again, submissive group had significantly lower empathy scores than controls, centered lower reported ability to take different perceptions. What is it? Perceptives?
Yeah.
I can't. My dyslexia, guys. I find it difficult to see things from a different from the other guy's point of view.
Bullshit.
The study is limited to one subgroup of people who practice BDSM, and it doesn't implicate the wider field. No shit.
And the thing about it is that we're only talking about 34 people.
35 people.
35 people. That's it. And the thing about it is, these are 35 people who were willing to go into a lab in China.
Wait till I read you the next sentence. You're gonna.
Oh, please.
Just everybody, hang on.
Please go ahead.
The fact the effects were initially discovered for women, not men, may reflect the fact that men tend to be less empathetic to begin with.
No shit. Okay. Hey, can I say hello, Mr. Obvious? This has been something that has been known forever.
It's called social programming.
Right.
It's not. I don't think it's a gender thing. I think it's really a social.
It's because especially in most societies, women are conditioned to be massively empathetic.
Yeah, and caregiver people.
And caregivers and so on. Versus men are not trained to be super empathetic.
Okay, and the online studies and identification of submissive practitioners rather than dominant ones as having lower than normal empathy and an atypical response to pain could reflect that this is a subset of people who willingly expose themselves to pain experience, which could be desensitizing, or because this group is made of individuals who started off less sensitized. We don't know. There's 35 people. The last issue is to emphasize, because we don't know whether the kind of person drawn to submissive practices is different from the normal person. The study doesn't show that practicing BDSM causes any changes in empathy. No shit. How could you prove that?
No, because the thing about it is...
You can't.
Because the thing about it is that it may just be that the women who come into this community already have a predisposition to having this. Because the thing about it is that people who come into this community whether they're male, female, or anywhere in between,
Hi.
they come in. They don't. It's very rare for somebody who is completely vanilla to then turn around and the next day go into doing hardcore play. It almost doesn't exist. There is something in your brain that says that is something I am interested in doing.
So they're saying we're neurologically fucked up. Okay, I'm okay with that.
No, I am not, because the thing about it is that
this article is. Wait, can I finish?
Yeah.
But the difference could be produced by this practice is certainly conceptually possible, both from generic principle of brain plasticity and from more scientific insights from pain science. What the fuck is pain science?
They have a whole thing about pain science.
Working in pain management service over this summer has left me in no doubt that our relationship with pain is shaped by psychological factors and can change over time. Wait, I just want to say that isn't it better not to be as affected by pain? Overall, with somebody else's, like,
but the thing about it is that
if you're a doctor, you don't want to flip out chemically when something's happening to your patient.
No, you have to be calm, and the thing about it is that
that's a different kind of empathy.
I think it's a very different kind of empathy. Internal empathy and external empathy sometimes are two very different things.
Truth.
Because the thing about it is that internally, enjoyment of pain or enjoyment of giving pain, I enjoy it with consenting partners. I would never imagine just going up to somebody on the street and beating them.
Yeah, but also, watching stimuli, you can fantasize in your brain about what that is or isn't.
Right.
Like, I watch serial killer things, but I really go serial killer someone? No. But, like, I watch that and I'm like, oh yeah, and it's like, it's a fantasy. It's the darkness of it. It's not
I would love to see them do the same study with people who are into horror films.
Oh, I'm sure it would be similar.
Or people who are into like the goth subculture.
Oh yeah,
I would love to see.
Completely similar. Probably.
You'd probably find that there's a lot of similarities in a lot of this, because you know what? The thing about it is what is considered the baseline, of this is what baseline is. That makes no sense, because every person's is different.
They said more research needs to be done to tell if this is the case.
No shit. Then why are you reporting on this?
I know. There's one more paragraph, okay? Can we get through the whole thing, Master?
Please.
If submissive practitioners were causing empathetic changes, would this matter?
No.
On the other hand, our neural empathy responses don't dictate our moral capacities. Thank you. We're twins, Master. We don't assume that emergency ward doctors are less caring than stockbrokers. Even if they... What is the whole fucking point of this article? Even if they are less sensitized to someone suffering from injury. Some even argue that being tethered to reactive empathy is a moral state we do well to forgo. Hello? Isn't that what I literally just said?
Yes.
On the other hand, as we are covered here in the digest recently, there is evidence linking neural empathy responses to even very concrete altruistic designs like donating a kidney to a stranger. What?
If you understand that, please comment. There's this box down there. If you could understand that statement and decode it.
Wait. On the other hand, as we discovered here in Digest recently, that's the thing of the name of this company, there is evidence linking neural empathetic responses to even very concrete, so how your brain chemistry works, to making a decision to give a kidney to a stranger.
Okay.
Also, if lower trait empathy scores among BDSM practitioners, why do they call us practitioners? Because maybe some of these people are also pro-submissives or pro-doms.
Right.
That's why I'm like, we don't know what the people's stories are. Were the product of their sexual practices, this would arguably be worth reflecting on, as it could have some potential consequences for the quality of their relationships.
Okay.
That's the end of the article. demonetized for me cursing, but oh my god.
Well, wait, we're not even monetized, so honestly, you know what? The worst they can do is age gate this. Wow, like I care if they do that, and probably me just saying that will probably get it age gated.
So
But
wait, they're saying that there's potentially lower empathy in the brain going on that leads to bad relationships. That's
which
what they're
is which is
implying.
bullshit. Because the thing about it is that statistically, the way the structures of BDSM relationships correlate almost 1-to-1 with vanilla relationships.
I'm very confused by this article.
It-
Why did this lady write this? I'm very confused.
It makes no sense.
There is nothing that added to my life.
But the thing about it is that if you're going to report on this, do your due diligence. You are a scientific, scientific
I'm clicking on that
society.
evidence, by the way, because it did have that page was not found. Yeah, because it's probably bullshit.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. The way science is supposed to work is somebody does a study that says X. Then somebody else says, oh yeah, I'll do that study too. And they go do the study again, and if they find X, then now you've done it twice and you've shown the same thing, then you could say it's most likely. And then somebody else will come along and say, well, you two have done it, let me try it. And if they get the same result, then it just strengthens it. If they find a different result, then it could make the other two invalid. First off, the methodology used for this study was horrible. Horrible.
Beyond horrible.
Okay? And I'm saying this not as, like, oh, I'm saying this because I'm a BDSM practitioner. No, I'm saying
and you're
this...
not a scientist, but
I'm a person who loves science, and I love it when science is good. But the thing about it is good science is done a particular way. If you're gonna do a study like this,
you should run it a few times before you do an article.
You should do it. You should run it multiple times,
multiple
places, with more than 35 people.
So wait, all of this is very much a hypothesis. There's nothing proving any of this.
Nothing. There is nothing proving anything here. But the only thing it's saying is, oh, the brain said, the chemistry. Okay, but again...
But what does that really mean, though?
But that doesn't mean anything, because internally, like I said, I can see a scene. I've seen scenes where people were being bled. Okay? And I stood there and went, huh. And the thing about it is that my brain didn't go, I need to rush and help that person. Does that mean that I have less empathy? No, because I knew that person wanted that done. It was being done safely in a controlled environment, and everything about that was done in a professional manner by people who knew what the hell they were doing. If I saw some guy on a street taking a knife and cutting up some other guy, I would be the first person to rush over there and be the person to try to help them. Okay? You know this as well as I do. When we get into a crisis situation, what am I?
Calm.
Mm-hmm. I'm calm. I'm empathetic. I'm trying to make sure everything is okay. I'm trying to make sure everything is in control. And I am trying to deal with it. And then afterwards, after everything is done, then I will have my emotional breakdown. And you've seen me do that.
Yeah, maybe a little too many times. We've had a lot of stories.
But the thing is that if you're going to do a study that says, and it's not like the headline. The headline basically was like, this is a fact. Okay? It's not a fact. It's a hypothesis that has very little data.
Very little data.
In a way...
Sorry, I'm so bored by this article. I'm texting, not a disrespect to you, but I am just done with this.
But it was done in a way that, frankly, looks bad. They did this article
You
in
should
a
just
way.
post this video on the article.
Oh,
On the article website.
they did this study in a way that, first off, it's done in a country where BDSM is not widely accepted. Okay, so there's a good potential that the people who are that they're studying are having to hide, and therefore they have a different set of brain chemistry than somebody in a society like America, or in certain parts of America, like here in the Bay Area, or in like a New York, or like a Los
Oh yeah, because if
Angeles.
you think you're gonna get, if you think you're gonna get killed, and then you just like get used to the fact, okay, something bad could happen to me when I'm doing these things.
And that's where your brain chemistry can go.
Yeah.
Because you come to the conclusion that this is like, if they did this same study in Moscow, they'd probably get the same results. If they did this study in London, they probably would get different results. If they did this in, in, I don't know, St. Louis.
I'm hella sleepy.
Yeah, I know, in a second. But if they did this in St. Louis, okay, St. Louis has an incredibly great BDSM community. You do this in Phoenix, they have an incredibly amazing BDSM community, an open and honest
We should
BDSM
do our
community.
own study. We should put a link below, and you should answer the questions, so we should see what.
Oh, I'm
I'm
just
Oh my-
amazed how number one, how bad. I mean, it's a legitimate question. I am not saying it's not a legitimate question. Okay, but the methodology was bad from the beginning. Their study, their pool of participants was laughably small, and it doesn't take into any actual psychological aspects of their being. It just looks at the brain chemistry.
She's coming down. With you.
Yeah. So, anyways, I could rant on for hours on this. That's gonna be it for now. Do all that YouTube stuff. That's it for now. Be well and safe.
Bye bye.